can see for secondary side also the mutual induced EMF, the E2 is induced here. The T2 is here. The E2 equal to minus N2 according to principal operation minus of N2 d pi by dt. So that is, as you know, the pi equal to what here? The pi equal to same thing here. You can write there is a N2 of pi m sin omega t. So by what about here? D by dt. Finally, we got this relation here. E2 are equal to 4.44 f pi m N2. So here that is the EMF induced in a secondary is the EMF induced in secondary is the EMF induced in secondary is. So first of all, the E1 is lags pi by 90 degrees. Okay, the EMF induced in secondary is also lagging behind the flux, flux vector exactly by 90, and in phase with the primary induced EMF here. In phase with the primary induced EMF, you can see. And this both E1 and E2 both are lags 180 degrees by applied voltage or input voltage. So that V1 is always opposite with the E1. That's why you can write here V1 equal to minus E1. Minus V1 here. Okay. So you can draw it here. Suppose if you write this the flux waveform, you are going to get this is the flux. Okay. Here you can see in that first one. So here if you write this is the flux direction, this is the flux. This is the flux. Exactly 90 degrees here. Exactly 90 degrees. Then you can get I1 and I2. Here you can see this is the here. This one will take place I1 and I2. Sorry, here this is E1 and E2. What about I1 here? So the I1 will be same, both V and I1 are same, both are same in phase. So this is the I1. Otherwise you can take V1 also. So this is VR pi. So this green one is represent E1 and E2 here. Okay, this is the wave output waveform here. Suppose that E1 that is V1 which is equal to minus E1 here. If you draw this one phasor diagram here, you can see. This is the V1. So exactly like that. This is the E1. So that's why that is what here. That is V1 equal to minus E1. This one E1 equal to minus E1. So you always remember when you draw the phasor diagram. So this flux as a reference here. So in that you always take this one. This is the main V1 itself here. So exactly opposite here. What about here? This is the E1. Why? Because I will show you the vectors diagram. This is the flux. So here this is the magnetic component of current. So both are in same phase. You can see this is the one same phase here. Because you are giving this source, both are in same phase here, and there will be V1 will be there, the V1 which is equal to minus E1. So this one, this diagram. And first of all, the EMF is induces in the primary winding. The EMF induced in the primary one primary. The primary induced EMF is always lags pi by 90 degrees. So similarly, the E2 also induces here, that is E2. The E2 also same, the 90 degrees with the lags here. So both B1 and E2 are in same in phase. Both are in same phase, and this both E1 and E2 always 180 degrees by V1 here. V1 is the primary input voltage. So, but how to get this all these things here? So when you draw the this is here. Oh, this is the first one. Is what about flux? This one, flux waveform, and exactly 90 degrees. That is exactly 90. So you can get what about here? This one, exactly this one. This is sorry. This is E1 and E2. Both E1 E2 exactly this is the 90 degrees. You can see. So both are lag. This is the lagging part. This is not leading. Okay, you can see this. It is going to be negative half cycle here, not positive. Okay, this is lagging. This E1 and E2 both are. This E1 and E2 both are lags 90 by pi here. So here you can see. Oh, this is the maximum value of flux. Okay, suppose if you get this I mu, then you can observe here. So this I mu will be. Oh, this is the I mu. Because I mu and pi are both are in same phase. You can see that's why. So this one and this one both are in same phase here. This waveforms you can see. This waveform and this waveform both are in same phase. Okay. By the way, have you understood this all these waveforms, dear students? So here you have to write V1 equal to minus E1 according to Lenz law. According to Lenz law. Okay, that is what about here. The E1 is opposes the change in applied voltage as it in case of a practical transformer. As it in case of practical transformer here. So finally, with this we got E1 equal to 4.44 F phi M N1, E2 equal to 4.44 F phi M N2. These two. Okay. Coming to this one. So this is the ideal transfer phasor diagram. Ideal transfer phasor diagram here. So by the way, are you following or not, dear students? Have you understood this concept? Have you understood this practical transfer concept here? Thank you, Sandeep. So coming to ideal transfer and its phasor diagram, you can see this is the flux. This is the primary, and this is the secondary type winding. So here this is the secondary side voltage, terminal voltage, and this is the primary side voltage, input voltage, and this is the I1. Here E1 and E2 will be there. So this P is represent primary and secondary. So these are the number of turns with respect to primary. These are the number of turns with respect to secondary. So you can see this like the no load here will take place, but I am going to take no load means that the I2 equal to 0 here. There is no I2. So you can see the I1 equal to Im here. That I1 equal to Im. Then if you take the flux as the reference here, the Im is nothing but maximum managing covered use of this current. Or I mu you can take. So the flux, and you can observe here the V1 will be there. Suppose what I am giving, so when you give the supply voltage, here you can see. When you give this voltage to that primary, so this voltage which causes the current, what type of current? This I. So again this Im which produces the what here? Phi. So this is the flux. So you can see. So this voltage you are applying means then you can get this current will start flowing in that Im. So when you give this Im to the primary, then the pi will be so the pi will be there. But the pi will be present because of this Im. Because the Im which flows through that winding which drives the flux or which produces the flux or which set up the flux in the core. Pi. So you can see the pi I have taken as a reference like that. So the because why? Because here the flux direction is like that. So the Im and pi both are in same phase here. Im and pi both are in same phase. You can see. So you can see the managing computer current and the flux both are in same phase. You can see V1 and V2 supply voltage and output voltage, and Im is the managing current. E1 is the self-induced EMF. E2 is the mutual induced EMF. I1 no load input current and I2 output current here. According to principle of operation, if you got that is E1 and E2, so the E1 with respect to flux, the E1 is always lagging behind the 90 degrees. You can see always 90 degrees this E1. Similarly, the E2 also lags the flux by 90 degrees here. But the both pi by 90 degrees here. So here the V1 is exactly 180 degrees here. You can see V1. That's why you can take exactly 180 degrees means what about here? V1. That's why you can get to exactly 180 degrees you can get. So this is V1. This is what about here? This is E1. Exactly 180 degrees. Like mirror shape. Okay? Here. This one. Yes, students, have you understood this concept? So coming to this is the ideal transformer of that phasor diagram. So coming to practical transformer, let us see. So as the transformer with losses but no magnetic leakage, flux will take place here. You can see we will consider two cases here. When such a transformer is on no load, okay, when it is loaded, so suppose it is also comes under that ideal transformer. Okay, actually we have two cases as the transformer under no load condition here. Okay, the core losses and copper losses are neglected in ideal transformer. Not only core losses and copper losses, the permeability of the transfer core will be infinite. So thereby the flux moves in any direction here. So thereby the exciting current will take place here 0. So thereby the efficiency of the ideal transformer will be 100% compared to practical transformer. So these are the points already we have studied. So coming to this practical transformer, we have two cases. From that, no load and load we have to consider. So you can see the core losses and copper losses are neglected in the case of what about your ideal transformer? The core losses and copper losses are neglected in case of ideal transformer. But in practical conditions, when an actual transformer is put on load, there is iron loss in the core. And copper loss in the windings. Both primary and secondary respectively. and these losses are not entirely negligible here. Why? Because as compared with the copper losses, the iron losses are more here. So that's why the copper losses are negligible here. Here the transformer under no load condition, the primary, there is what about the primary here? The primary input under no load, there is second side is open here. So that condition has to supply iron losses in the core. There is the combination of hysteresis losses and eddy core losses, and very small amount of copper losses here, and very small amount of copper losses in primary. So thereby the no load input power is what about here? So this is the no load input power is represented as a W0. So it is also called as a no load loss, that is equal to V1 I naught cos pi naught here. V1 I naught cos pi naught. So the same thing I am going to take here. Here you can see. So this is also comes under that practical transformer here. You can see there is a same thing here, but don't get confused. Otherwise, I will show you here. So we are giving this V1, and here this is I naught equal to second side is open. That I naught will be here. That is V1 I naught. What about the power factor? That is cos pi naught. So from that you can get V1 into I naught into cos pi naught. Then you can get what about W naught or P naught. So this is the no load input power for practical transformer. Practical transformer. Think how many students are there? 38. Okay. So this no load input power will be W naught, that is equal to V1 into I naught into cos pi naught. Cos pi naught. This is the no load power factor. There is a no load power factor. Generally, the no load power factor will be it will take very less value. So because of no load current, the no load phase angle, the pi naught is no load phase angle. So the no load phase angle, there is a 70 to 75% no load phase angle. There is less than 90%, 90 degrees. So it's around 70 to 75% means like less than 90 degrees. So thereby the no load power factor, will be 0.2 lagging. That is approximately 0.2 lagging. This is the most important point. 0.2 lagging. Okay. So since here the managing component of current will be very less, that's compared to no load component of current here. So that's why here having two no load power factor because of IM. That's managing component of current. The managing component of current much more than the working component of current here. Because the I naught which contains managing component of current and working component of current here. We'll see how we'll get. So no load condition of actual transformer is shown in vectorially in figure. Oh, this one. As seen from figure, primary current has two components. One in phase with the V1. This is known as active or working, or what about here? Iron loss component. That is IW. Because it mainly supplies the iron losses. Plus a small quantity of primary copper losses. Here. Okay. So what I'm saying here. So one point you have to remember, in ideal transformer there is no power losses. That's why we can get that E2, I2, cos pi 2 or cos pi, otherwise E1, I1, cos pi. So both are cancelled out here. There is E2 by E1 equal to I1 by I2 for ideal transformer. That is equal to K. Because no need right here, but E2 by E1, N2 by N1 equal to K. So due to that, that is E2 by E1, that is N2 by N1. So here E2 by E1 equal to I1 by I2. That's why I1 by I2 equal to K. Yeah. First of all, E2 I2 cos phi equal to E1 I1. In ideal transformer, there is no power losses. There is no power losses. So I forgot this part to tell you. So therefore, the output that is what about the output power must be equal to input power here. E2 I2 cos phi, which is equal to E1 I1 cos phi. So the cos phi and cos phi, there is a common power pattern. So then E2 by E1 equal to I1 by I2. So but E2 by E1 that is equal to N2 by N1 equal to K. So based on that, I am going to write that is equal to, that is E2 by E1 equal to N2 by N1 equal to K means. But E2 by E1 that is equal to I1 by I2. Finally got this relation. This relation here. So here, hence the primary and secondary currents are inversely proportional to their respective turns. Hence the primary and secondary currents are inversely proportional to their respective turns or respective induced EMFs of primary and secondary. Okay. Oh, this is transformer on no load. This is a transformer on no load here. I am going to draw here. Yeah. So the load secondary side is open. So I am saying here, transformer on no load. When secondary winding is open, when secondary winding is open circuited, thereby the secondary current is what about 0. A very small exciting current. A very small exciting current here. There is what here? The very small exciting current that is represented by I naught. Because this is the no load. I naught is drawn by the primary. Is drawn by the primary. Is drawn by the primary. It supplies the iron losses. It supplies the iron losses. It supplies the iron losses. That is the combination of hysteresis losses and eddy current losses. In the core. In the core. And a small amount of, very small amount of copper losses. A very small amount of copper losses in the primary winding, because secondary winding is open circuited. In the primary winding only very small amount of copper losses are present. Hence the I naught, this I naught lacks the voltage V1 by. So this I naught lacks the voltage V1 by. What about here? V1 by. So V1 by approximately, that is what about approximately 90 degrees. So this I naught, which has two component of currents like managing or working component of current and managing component of current. Let us see. So as seen from figure, primary current has, I naught has two components. Let us see here. That current is not, the phasor diagram is not given here. I will show you the phasor diagram here. So this is not phasor diagram here. By the way, shall I continue, dear students? I think time, what is the time? 3:35. First of all, you tell me. Shall I continue or shall I take the class on the next? Shall I continue the next session? Is anyone response first of all?
ఎండేస్తా నీళ్ళు గారిని ఏం కాదు
Otherwise, you can take this, remove this. You may get some confusion will be going on. Please tell me anyone. Shall I continue or not? Okay. Oh, this is the no load component current. You can see. So this no load component current, this primary current has, this is the primary current has working component current and managing component current. So the primary current which has working component current and managing component current. Okay. So you can, this is the no load component current. No load. So this working component current. So this I naught has two components. There is one in phase with the V1. One in phase with the V1 means, so this is the working component current, IW. There is active or working or iron loss component, there is IW, because it mainly supplies the iron losses. Because it mainly supplies the iron losses here. Iron losses and small quantity of primary copper loss. And small amount of primary copper loss. Because the second side is open circuited, only we have primary winding. That's why small amount of copper losses will be there. And this I naught, that is what about here, this IW, 1 to 2 percentage of 1 to 2% of full load current. 1 to 2% of full load current here. So and what about here? Uh, so and this I naught which always pays with the applied voltage, that is called as active or working component. So this is resistive. That is what about here? This is resistive in nature here. So let us take, this is resistive in nature. This is the working component. This is R naught. R naught here. So similarly, coming to second one, second case. Second case, so there will be another component of current, there is I mu. I mu. There is quadrature. This is a quadrature with the, so this is the I mu or managing IM. So IM. There is the managing component of current. So thus that IM is always quadrature with this, always quadrature with the applied voltage. You can see. So this is the managing component current here. So this always a quadrature with this, what about here? Oh, this is the applied voltage, this is here. So this IM is always quadrature with the applied voltage, called reactive component. Called reactive component. Reactive component or managing component. It produces the flux. It produces the flux. So this IM, which produces the flux in the core. In the core, and does not consume any amount of power. And does not consume any amount of power here. So that what about that, she is represented by IM. That is 4 to 5% of 5% of full load current. Full load current here. Suppose if you consider that I naught equal to angle of, that is what about I naught equal to, that is angle of minus pi naught. Otherwise that IW which is equal to I naught cos pi naught. Because why, the managing component that is inductive in nature. Inductive nature means you can take, this is the inductive nature. That is what managing component current, this is X naught. So that is I naught cos pi naught. And what about here? That is IM. Please. Yes. So that is IW equal to I naught cos phi naught. That IM equal to IM equal to, you can see, that is magnetic component current, that is I naught sin phi naught. I naught sin phi naught. So this is the active component, this is the reactive component. This IM is a reactive component. That's why this is the reactive nature, this is the resistive nature. Reactive nature. You can say here, this is the IM. So the IM is placed with the phi. So it produces the flux. The core does not consume any power. Then what about here? So this I naught which has working component current and managing component current. So the working component current which supplies the iron losses and along with a small amount of primary copper losses. Only primary side, not secondary. Secondary is zero. Secondary is open circuited. Secondary current is zero. So that's why the secondary current is zero. The current flowing through the winding also zero. So this is the thing. So finally we got what about here? You know the I naught cos phi naught, I naught psi phi naught. So the primary power part at no load condition. The primary power part at no load condition is nothing but what about cos phi naught, which is equal to, there is IW by I naught. IW from this. IW by I naught. So therefore the no load power factor will be, there is cos phi naught. Cos phi naught, that is equal to V1 I naught cos phi naught. V1 I naught cos phi. Already we have discussed last slide. V1 I naught. So that V1 is this one. I naught is this one. And power factor is cos. No load power factor cos phi naught. The cos phi naught will be, already I tell you, that is approximately point. So number of times asked in that formed exam is 0.2 lagging. So that's why 0.2 lagging we are having under no load test or open circuit test. We prefer to low range wattmeter here. Low range wattmeter. Okay, because of low power factor. Because of low power factor here. Okay, so the exact symbol of transformer will be like so generally it is called as a air core transformer. Suppose if you take these two course, this is the iron core transformer. So this is the circuit symbol of transformer. This is the circuit symbol of transformer. From that I am going to draw here equivalent circuit of transformer under load condition. Equivalent circuit of transformer. Equivalent circuit of transformer under no load condition. Under no load condition. So let us see. Yeah. So this is the transformer. Here. So this is the E2. Here, what about here? E1. E1. From this, I am going to draw here. So at the primary side is what type of voltage here? You can see. Primary voltage, what about V1 here? Primary voltage will be V1. Here, what about current here? So what about here N1 turns, N2 turns. N1 is to N2. So secondary side is open here. Next, so there will be a current will be there. This is what type of current here? Otherwise, this is the I naught current. Here, it will take some two component currents here. That is here. It will be these two currents. Just wait. Think a different color payment. I naught component of current. Here, this R naught. This is the R naught. Here X naught. X naught. So here IM will take place. Minus come here. Working. So this is the exact equivalent circuit of transformer under no load condition. So one point you have to remember, Here Im is and Iw. So the combination of I naught vector sum is a working component and managing component. So that is equal to I naught will be, so like 3 to 8% here. So 3 to 8% of 3% to 8% of full load current. Full load current here. This is the most important point here. So this is the exact equivalent circuit of transformer. Okay, oh this one. This is the exact equivalent circuit of transformer here. Okay. So please all of you take this all equations here. Just wait. I will get. I am going. Okay. Dear students, please take this all these points here first of all. Okay. If you have any doubts, just ask me. So I'm going to end this session here.